Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is your favorite show, Daily Calls, a show where we address all your stock-related queries. So in case you're watching us for the first time, the easiest way to send in your queries, which will be answered live on this show by top market experts, is via this WhatsApp number that's flashing on your screens. So send in your questions along with your name, your location and your contact details so that we can dial you back and have you speak to our guests live on this show to get all your stock-related queries answered. You can also use the social media platforms like the YouTube channel where you're watching us and this show on, and also on our Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn and Instagram to send us your questions. But let's start off with the top headlines we're tracking for you this hour. Markets are off the day's high point. The Nifty is trading around 22,500 mark. Sensex 200 points down now from the intraday high levels as well. Pharma, IT tracks while metals shine. January to March GDP data is expected from 5.8 to 7.5% as per polls from Informis. Sources also say GDP will exceed the estimates this time. RBI moves 100 tons gold from UK to its vaults in India. First such move of this quantum since 1991. Warm welcome to all our viewers joining us right here. So if you're joining us for the very first time, this is a show that answers any and every stock related query that you may have. Of course, we are moving forward to the biggest event of the year. The exit polls will come out tomorrow and next week on Tuesday we will get to know which party is really going to be coming to power in this Lok Sabha elections as well. And now to introduce to you our guest on the show, Mr. Hemang Jani joins in. He's a market expert. Warm welcome to you, sir. Thank you so much for taking the time out. And like I said, probably the biggest event that we are going to be seeing unfold in front of us tomorrow onwards. And therefore, we do see markets in a very, very nervous, volatile, jittery mode all across last few days that we have seen. What is it that you're advising clients to do at this point in time? Should one take away all the profits? Should one stay put on the sidelines, start to invest post-elections? What exactly is your own expectation of the markets in the interim?
Yeah, good morning to all of you, and thanks for having me. See, market surely is showing a bit of volatility, and if we look at the VIX also, it is at a very high level. Today it has come off a bit, but overall from 12 to it has gone up to about 24, and typically that's what happens when the market is standing at a very big event, which can cause a big swing in the market. So the way I look at the market is that it depends upon what kind of trading profile or person you are. If you're looking at short term trading, obviously you can position yourself to benefit from the swing that may happen either ways. If you're an investor, I think before putting additional money, now we've got hardly maybe one day today, and maybe exit polls are going to be out on Monday, so maybe 2 days we can say. So should not allocate more money at this point. Let's have the clarity on the outcome and then maybe put some money to work. But overall, I think my experience over the years has been that even if you have a little bit of swing volatility, the market will come to terms with it and eventually it will start moving. So should not get too much worried about your core portfolio, the core holding. And if for any reason, because of the volatility, you get a chance to, buy the stocks at a, slightly more attractive levels, by all means, go for it.
Okay, by all means, go for it. That's the view coming in on the overall markets amid all this election uncertainty that we are faced with. But a lot of our viewers have already started to write into us, Mr. Jani, as far as the questions are concerned. So I'll give a shout out to some of the early viewers who are joining us on our YouTube platform. So Kathir is joining us. Mr. MK Reddy Polu is also joining us as well. We also have a question on WhatsApp. So we'll start by the WhatsApp number questions first. The first question is from Anush from Karimnagar. Now he says he holds 800 shares of IRB Infra at 65 rupees per share. Now he wants to hold the stock for 1 year perspective. What could be in the offing for this infra company, sir? What is your own assessment?
IRB Infra has been doing well, and what we've seen is that the entire infra space, particularly the companies which have the assets or BOT model of operating, they've been benefiting by the policy framework of this government, and to that extent, IRB Infra is well placed. Just I think a day before, we also had a block deal where like there was a big transaction around 61 rupees. So our own target price here for this company is about 78 over a period of 12 months. And we just think that the infra focus and the execution focus will continue to be there. No matter what happens, the government, if of course, if there's a continuity, there is going to be an extra boost. But irrespective, I think people are focused upon that segment. So continue to hold on to it. If you get somewhere close to about 60 rupees, that will be a even more attractive price to enter.
Okay, got that. So I hope, Anush, you've got an understanding of how Hemangsa is viewing IRB Infra at this point in time. एक आध हमारे पास जो YouTube से क्वेरी आई है, पहले वो भी ले लेते हैं हेमंग जी. काथिर का ये सवाल है, उनके पास 50 शेयर्स हैं मैन इंडस्ट्रीज के, 250 के भाव पर इन्होंने लिया हुआ है. पूछ रहे हैं कि होल्ड करें लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए अगर करना चाहते हैं, और जो दूसरा स्टॉक का सेक्टर है जो इनकी राय जानना चाह रहे हैं वो है शिपिंग स्पेस. पहले हम मैन इंडस्ट्रीज के ऊपर बात कर लेते हैं, फिर मैं शिपिंग के कुछ स्टॉक्स जो इन्होंने लिखे हैं उसके बारे में भी आपसे राय पूछूंगी सर.
Infra has been a big mover. If you see, last about 6 months or so, I think somewhere close to about from 150 in November, it has gone to about 189 odd levels. In the last, let's say about few weeks, from April 12th, it's also corrected a bit. I think from 220, it has come down to about 189. I think given the focus of this company, certain infra projects, the real estate, the EPC, the company seems to be doing well. I have not looked at the recent quarterly numbers, so I would not be able to kind of comment on that. But as a space, as a company, we continue to like this. We think that, given the thrust on the infra, the real estate sector itself is doing so well. So the company would stand to benefit. So I definitely think that you should look to hold on to your stock. And also, if you see any correction during this volatility, somewhere close to about 160, 165, that would be even a better entry point for you.
Okay, got that. So I hope this answers your question, Kathir, on Man Industries. We have the next caller with us, live joining us on the show from Udupi. Pavan KV has dialed in. Pavan ji, good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon, Sakshi and Hemant. Yeah, I am fine. What about you?
I'm all well. Thank you so much for calling in. Do tell us what is your question on so that we can answer your query.
Yeah, my question is, can I buy Jio Financial now for long term as well as short term perspective? And I need suggestion on this. And another question is, any good pick in pharma API sector?
Okay, I'll get Mr. Jani's view for you on this. Mr. Jani, the first question is on Jio Finance. Is it a good stock to enter in for both short term and long term, if you could share a view on? And the next question is on the pharma space. That from the pharma space, what could you suggest to him?
Finance, very positive view. I think given the way the company has put out the entire business model, the entire team has been put in place. The technology deck is almost ready, so the product offering will start very soon, and it's going to be present across the spectrum. Be it the mutual fund, the entire financial services ecosystem is what the company is going to build. Personal loans and so on and so forth. So very positive view. If you have at least 2 to 3 year kind of view, short term, it would be very difficult to gauge how it's going to pan out because the stock has already run up quite a lot ever since it got listed post the demerger. Stock has run up, so I'm not very sure how, let's say next 1 or 2 quarters it's going to pan out. But surely for 2 to 3 years, this could be one of the best performing stock, and it will also become part of the indices over a period of time, depending upon how the performance shapes up. So surely you should have it as a part of your core portfolio. Now, coming to your second question about the pharma sector and some of the companies that could do well. So the result season is over, and when I look at the numbers, Aurobindo Pharma, I felt that from many companies. The performance was very good. There was a bit of a issue in terms of
And kind of an upside on Oro Pharma from the pharma space. I hope you've got your query answered, Pawan, on both the stocks, both the questions that you had. The next question is again from our YouTube viewer. Mr. M.K. Reddy Polu says, I am from Nellore, and he wants to know, can I add Hindustan Copper, Tata Steel right now to his portfolios? We are seeing this metal move come in, and I think that's why he's now interested in these particular stocks, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Reddy. Thanks for your question. So, as far as Hindustan Copper is concerned, yes, you can add this stock. The recent numbers have been extremely good, and what I like these base metal companies is that because of the better production numbers from Eurozone, from US, also from China, the overall pricing environment is going to be better, and Hindustan Copper would be a beneficiary of that. So surely, we have a positive outlook on that. And I mean, if you can tell me what was your second question?
So the second question is on Tata Steel.
Tata Steel, yeah. So Tata Steel, the performance that was out day before was reasonably good. The stock has corrected. But if you look at the numbers in detail, India, business has done pretty well. The operating profit per ton has done much better than market expectations. And in Eurozone, the losses have actually come down. So I would surely look at adding Tata Steel while it is going through this corrective phase. And, the same story that the overall, the production data across the globe is looking better. And Tata Steel will be one of the beneficiary of it.
Okay, I hope, Mr. Reddy, your questions are answered on both the stocks that you had asked. I think we have another caller with us. We have Vijay, who is dialed in. Let's see if Vijay is connected to us. Do we have Vijay PCR? Okay, we don't have Vijay right now. We'll try and connect to him. I think we have a WhatsApp query that's come in from Vijay. So he says he has Titagarh Railways, about 1,000 rupees is his buying price. 1,000 buying price, and 100 shares is what he holds. And he wants to know, for a long-term perspective, what should he really do? Currently, he's sitting on profits because the stock is now at 1376 odd, and even today it's been moving up. And the entire space, Hemangsa, has been in the thick of action. Should he hold on? Can he expect higher profits or higher, better, price points?
Absolutely. I think one highlight of this quarterly numbers, and in fact the stock price moves, is that the railway stocks, the entire sector has got a massive growth, and even the some of the companies which are supplying to railways, which are part of the capital goods space, they also have benefited a lot. So I think given the upgradation and the kind of allocation which the government is giving to the sector, we think that companies like Titagarh, BEML, and even companies like ABB Cements, which are supplying certain equipments, components, would stand to benefit a lot. So surely hold on to Titagarh wagons, and we would look at a 20 to 24% kind of an upside in the stock price over the next 12 months.
Okay, got that. I hope this answers your question as well. अगला सवाल लेते हैं. हमारे पास अनुष पटेल मठ का सवाल आया है. इनके पास बैंक ऑफ महाराष्ट्र के शेयर्स हैं सर. 1000 शेयर्स ये होल्ड करते हैं. 70 रुपीज़ के भाव पर लिया हुआ है. अब एक साल का नज़रिया आपसे जानना चाह रहे हैं. PSU बैंकिंग स्पेस में भी बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त रैली हमने देखी है. स्पेशली सेकेंड रंग PSU बैंक जैसे बैंक ऑफ महाराष्ट्र हैं, इन्होंने बहुत ही बेहतरीन रिटर्न्स दिए हैं इन्वेस्टर्स को पिछले 6-8 महीनों में. अब जो बाइंग प्राइस है वो 70 का है, तो थोड़ा सा तो ऊपर का प्राइस है. तब उसके बाद से काफी कंसोलिडेशन में भी आया ये स्टॉक. तो जिन लोगों ने हायर लेवल्स पर एंट्री की है इतने रनअप के बाद, उनके लिए क्या सलाह होगी हेमंत साहब?
कंपनी की परफॉर्मेंस तो काफी अच्छी इंप्रूव हुई है लास्ट एक साल के अंदर. अगर मैं देखूं तो वो हिसाब से तो मुझे काफी ठीक लग रहा है. और वैल्यूएशंस की अगर बात करें तो काफी सस्ता है. 48,000 crore की मार्केट कैप है, और प्राइस टू बुक वुड बी समवेयर क्लोज टू अबाउट 1.2. और नंबर में भी मैं देखूं तो एसेट क्वालिटी, द NII एंड ओवरऑल द स्प्रेड्स, द NIMs, उसमें एक डेफिनेट इंप्रूवमेंट देखने को मिल रहा है. अभी जो लेटेस्ट मार्च क्वार्टर के नतीजे आए थे उसमें 1230 करोड़ का प्रॉफिट कंपनी ने दिया है, जो कि ऑल टाइम हाई है। तो मुझे लगता है कि ये जो सिलेक्ट स्मॉलर बैंक्स, पर्टिकुलरली जो पीएसयू बैंक्स के अंदर री रेटिंग की प्रोसेस है, वो शायद जारी रहेगी, क्योंकि कंपनी के नतीजों में वो साफ साफ दिखाई दे रहा है। तो इसको बिल्कुल होल्ड कीजिएगा। अगर छोटा सा करेक्शन भी आता है तो घबराइएगा मत। 62-64 के लेवल पे जरूर से उसको ऐड करना चाहिए। मुझे लगता है कि 90 to 95 का टारगेट ये कंपनी में एक साल में देखने को मिल सकता है।
चलिए, तो ठीक है, आपको और हायर लेवल्स देखने को मिल सकते हैं। बने रहिए, एक साल के नज़रिए से आपको 90-95 के लेवल्स देखने को मिल सकते हैं। अगला सवाल हमारे पास जो आया, इनफैक्ट वी हैव अ लाइव कॉलर नाउ फ्रॉम मुंबई एंड फ्रॉम महाराष्ट्र इटसेल्फ। राहुल रेलान हैज डायल्ड इन। राहुल, गुड आफ्टरनून, हाउ आर यू?
I'm good. How are you?
आई एम वेरी वेल राहुल, टेल मी हाउ कैन वी हेल्प यू टुडे?
Yeah, so I actually bought DLF shares for the June futures.
Okay. So Rahul, unfortunately we do not have a technical guest to answer your query today. We have a fundamental guest. Will that view do for you on DLF?
Yes, that would do.
Okay, fine. Hemang sir, on DLF, what is exactly that you'd like to share with him? He's actually bought futures of June futures of DLF, and his buying price is 854 odd levels. How would you really look at this stock from a fundamental point of view?
Hi Rahul, thanks for your question. And DLF, surely the stock has, seen a little bit of correction from the recent high. I think it made a high of somewhere close to about 860 or thereabouts. Now it is quoting at about 815 levels. If you look at the entire sector has got massively re-rated in the last 1.5 year, and numbers were okay, nothing really great. But what I like about DLF is that almost about 40% of the income is coming from the rental yields, and that is where we are seeing uptick, particularly in the key markets like NCR, where DLF has a major presence. They are doing pretty well. So I definitely think that you can hold on to this position, and I would be looking at a target of almost close to 880-900, particularly if the event is slightly favorable on Tuesday. DLF being a high beta stock can see at least 10 to 15% kind of an uptick. At the same time, you have to bear in mind that since this is a high beta stock, if there is any unfavorable event, then it can also correct about 7 to 10%. So you have to bear that in mind.
Okay, got that. So I hope this answers your question, Rahul. We have the next question, and this is from our YouTube viewer, Nanu Vyas. He's written on good afternoon ma'am. He says good afternoon sir, good afternoon to you Nanu from both of us. He says please give your views on Zomato, and the second question is whether he can take any options trade in the index. Unfortunately Nanu, we won't be able to give you the options trade query answer, because we do not have a derivatives guest right here today, but Zomato for sure. Hemang sir has been following up Zomato, and we've asked him many a times, and he will be able to guide you very well that whether you should be looking at buying Zomato at the current levels. Hemang sir, what will your view be on this one?
Zomato has seen a small correction from about 195-200 levels. I think it's quoting somewhere around 175 odd levels. I really like the numbers and the performance, and particularly the Blinkit part. The performance as well as the growth outlook that the company has put out is extremely encouraging. The only hiccup that I see is that many more companies are going to enter into e-commerce space, including this Jio Mart. So people are slightly concerned over there that if you have a more competitive intensity, how the margins for Q-commerce are going to shape up. But given the positioning that Zomato has, I don't think too much of a challenge, because the overall market size, the opportunity, and the fact that the company has taken all the possible steps to really cut down on the cost and move towards profitability are working out extremely well. So hold on to Zomato. We can look at a price target of 240 to 250 over the next 12 months.
All right, got that. So higher targets on Zomato can be expected. For next question, we have a live caller. Anjali from Mumbai has dialed in. Anjali, good afternoon. How are you?
Hello, hi Sakshi, I'm good.
Hi, tell us.
wanted to ask, Adani Enterprises 25 shares are at 3,000, so should hold or sell them?
You have a long-term view or you entered for a short-term horizon?
Long-term view.
Long-term view. Okay. 3,000 is the buying price on Adani Enterprises. Anjali holds about 25 shares, sir, sitting on profits, but are higher targets expected? Should she hold on?
The entire group stocks are having a very strong correlation with the election outcome. So if you have BJP getting a very comfortable majority and forming power, then you will see a 10-15% kind of a up move at least in Adani Enterprise and entire Adani Group stocks. So that is something that you have to bear in mind, and we do think that the group is really doing extremely well and has been increasing their presence across the categories, be it airport, power, uh, port, so on and so forth. So, Adani Enterprise, we have a positive view, and you can surely hold on to it for a target of about 4,200.
Okay. Viewers, we'll take the last question and then we will move to our KYC segment, which is on Indigo. So, in case that's one stock that you're looking at, do stay tuned for that. Last query, Mr. Jani, is from Swarnika from Andhra Pradesh. She has bought BDL, that's Bharat Dynamics, and Cochin Shipyard for a 1-year view. And she's already sitting on profits of about 28% on these stocks. Now, she wants to know that after the run up, should she book out the profits and then probably re-enter? Will that be a right strategy? Or should she continue to hold?
So, best performing stocks, both Cochin Shipyard and BDL, if you look at the small cap index category, in the top 5 or 7 best performing stocks, I think these stocks will feature. Performance wise, also, I think Cochin Shipyard and BDL have delivered very good numbers. And the thrust of the government is clearly on upgrading the defense capabilities, and the domestic companies would surely stand to benefit. The only issue is that now that the sector has done so well in the last 1 year, you might see a little bit of profit booking once the event is out of the way. So I definitely think that you should do a partial profit booking since you're sitting on a handsome profit, and look out for opportunities post the event.
Okay, got that. So, viewers, we've addressed as many questions as we could take today. But Monday is when we will be coming back with your queries to be answered. But right now, it's the time for our KYC segment or the Know Your Company segment. And the company that we are going to be discussing today is Indigo. Remember, the company had come out with its earnings about 10 days back. Blowout set of numbers, profits doubling as well. And on an annual year basis, highest ever revenues and profits have been recorded by Indigo too. There are several other innovations that are taking place. So just about yesterday, the company talked about introducing female first changes, allowing all the female passengers to look at other females sitting in the in the planes and really book the ticket to their advantage as to how would they want to choose it. And before that, the company of course made that big bang announcement of a foray into the business class as well by the end of the year 2024. Now let's understand how the stock has really moved up. Last 6 months, there's been a one-way rally and the stock has moved anywhere about 52%, or last 8 months, it's been an 80% kind of a surge on this one as well. Just recently, Indigo also hit an all-time high level after the earnings as well. So, Mr. Hemang Jani, let's begin by understanding your own overview on what you have on Indigo. That's probably the only or the best placed aviation related stock that we have in the stock markets. Over the years, it has consistently proven fundamental results as well. What is your view now for someone who has not had Indigo in their portfolios? Would it still be a good buy at the current level, sir?
So, well, clearly, by far the best stock that we have in the aviation space, and just to give you a tagline, sky is the limit for a company like Interglobe, and not only as an investor, when you as a customer, as a passenger, also when you experience the kind of processes that they have built, the servicing capabilities, and the kind of reach that the company has, not just in the domestic market but also in the international market, that is amazing. So I think as a core investment, I would certainly be very positive on it. But the only thing is that since the stock has done so well in the last 1 year, I would be more comfortable buying into this company in two parts. Some component you can invest now, and if there is a 10-15% correction for any reason, I think that would be a great time to enter into Indigo.
Okay, enter it in two parts because the stock has already rallied quite a bit as well. On the earnings front, sir, how are you assessing with the way the company is now reporting the earnings, and what is the outlook going forward from here? And how do you see this new innovation of foray into business class with its wider body fleet that it is now adding to its foray will really turn out to be? Why I ask you this question, sir, is that worldwide we haven't actually seen any success story of a low cost carrier making itself big or successfully operating the wider body planes or the long haul flights. It started to do that for Istanbul and just some such cities with code share, etc. But now we will be looking at a full fledged environment of business class experience from Indigo. So how are you really looking at it from a long term perspective now?
I think, once you reach a certain, market share and, certain threshold in terms of the penetration, companies are always trying to find newer ways to kind of increase their, profitability, ARPUs and so on and so forth. So maybe Indigo is trying to do that. So even if they, let's say, offer, some business class related services, it would be very small component of their overall revenue. So I don't think that by itself is going to change the, tick in a major way. What we would be more comfortable to look at is that how the company is able to deal with their international operations, particularly to major markets like US, UK, like how Vistara has come out with certain routes for UK and other places. So how it's able to take on certain busier routes on the international side is what we would be keen to know. Also, one important aspect here is that since it has already reached a 60% market share in the domestic market, I don't think there is too much of a scope to increase that. So will company be able to retain this once you have certain amount of competition coming through from Air India, Vistara, and maybe to some extent from SpiceJet? So those are the things that I would be watching out for.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Jani, for being with us on this show and helping our viewers with all the insights on their queries, as well as giving us an overview on Indigo and where does the stock really go from here on as well. Truly a pleasure to host you on Business Today, sir.
Thank you so much.
With that, viewers, we wrap up this edition of Daily Calls, but do stay tuned as action will continue to be on your screens on Business Today television.